Thank you for your service, and Sawubona. We see you.
Announcement, license plate number EU22386. Can we ask you to move your car real quick and let somebody out? You go.
So then, what do we do about it, right? We need to do something. So I wanted you to take away some things to do or some action to do to foster or enhance Black mental well-being. So some things that I encourage are some breath awareness with affirmation. So as you're doing some deep breathing, saying things like, I am enough, I am strong, I am proud of who I am. So just some affirmations to accompany some deep breathing and relaxation. Body scan meditation, Black joy meditation, eating well, sleeping well, mindfulness walking in nature. We know that walking and exercise releases endorphins, so it helps us to physically feel better. So we need to take care of our physical bodies as well as our mental and emotional well-being. And then mindfulness journaling. Just, if you're a writer, if you don't mind writing, just journaling and doing some reflective work with journaling, but seeking support. So knowing that and acknowledging that you need to talk to someone, whether that is a professional, whether that first might be just a relative or a friend because you've never opened up or said anything to anybody before, but we need to normalize talking about what we're feeling and not bottling it up inside and internalizing these things. So I wanted to give you guys an idea of what you can expect in a therapy session. So many of you maybe have never gone to therapy a day in your life, and there are lots of things on TV where you probably speculate what goes on therapy. You might think that going to therapy means you go in and lay on somebody's couch and you just talk to them. Well, that might be true because I've always had couches in my offices, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of what you can expect. So first and foremost, especially after the pandemic, telehealth or virtual counseling has become more popular. So you have the option of in-person and or telehealth or hybrid. So one day you might go into the office, another day you might just be virtual or online. And then intake and introductions are usually the first step. So you would complete some intake paperwork to start the therapeutic process. And then your first session might be an introduction, you and the therapist, and just checking in. Oftentimes we meet you where you are. So if I'm meeting you for the first time, but you need to dump and unload, I won't say, well, today's the first day, so we need to just, take it slow. I will meet you, and usually therapists meet you where you at. We review progress and concerns between the client and therapist. We will set some goals. What do you want to get out of therapy? And then we will use that as a framework with the therapeutic process. You don't have to share anything before you're ready. I always tell clients, I do not force people to talk. You should, and I encourage you to go to therapy when you're ready, because that's when you will get the most benefit, is when you are actually ready to open up and receive that type of support. It can be a little intimidating because, again, one of the stigmas is we feel judged, right? We feel like we don't want people to judge us, but oftentimes talking to a therapist who doesn't even know you and who is unbiased is beneficial, so consider it. We use different therapeutic interventions like cognitive behavioral therapy. Is changing the way you think about things so that you can in turn change the behaviors and things that are going on in your life to create a better outcome. So I always like to say, in order to change your life, you got to change your mind. And then you wrap up and then set your appointment. Sometimes therapists will give homework or skill development. So an example of a homework assignment, I might say, next time before we come to session, I want you to do something that relaxes you, because you've reported to me that you're always busy, you don't take out time for yourself. So it's not necessarily always homework or something that you have to write, but it could be something like journaling or just simply doing something that you don't normally do that's going to benefit you. Okay. These are just some resources for Black mental health. I will have a QR code at the very end that you guys can scan. By the end of here, you'll be QR coded out. But I will have a QR code that you can scan that will have my contact information. So if you want a copy of this presentation or the QR codes for the different resources, then I will have that as well. Okay, and then these are just a list of community resources that are in our Will County area that, again, I will provide you access at your request for these slides and things like this. Okay, so now, lastly, we will have a brief panel discussion. So at this time, I'm asking that my panelists come forward. So we'll take a brief intermission as we transition for the panelists.
Oh, I thought you liked it.
I'm going back there.
Okay, 5-minute intermission while we set up for the panelists.